Hello everyone, welcome back to Kênh Review. I'd like to send my best wishes of health and happiness to all of you and your families. Dear friends, in today's new episode of Jack and Lytutien, we will explore their big plans for the future. What are Jack's thoughts on buying a new piece of land to build a real home for himself and Lytutien? A peaceful home where their love will bloom and bear fruit. At the same time, a deeply troubling situation arises. How will Lytutien feel, and what will she want to do to help her ex-father-in-law when she sees him living in a makeshift shelter in a drain? Will compassion triumph over past wounds? Let's follow along with these heartfelt developments and their plans for the future in this episode. The morning conversation at Mrs. Loy's house began with everyday stories about attending weddings, but quickly shifted to more important and heartfelt topics. Mrs. Loy, with a mother's concern, inquired about the condition of the farm after the recent rains, and reassured Lytutien not to worry too much and to rest at her place. Jack agreed, but he understood that Lytutien couldn't stay still when there was unfinished work on the farm or when there was an opportunity to earn extra income. The highlight of the conversation came when Lytutien decided to share with Mrs. Loy her meeting and decision to help her ex-father-in-law. She recounted his tragic situation, how he had no place to go and was living in a makeshift shelter in a drain. Lytutien's words were filled with sorrow and compassion. She couldn't ignore his plight, especially when she remembered the little care he had shown her in the past. She also emphasized Jack's role and support in this decision, showing the respect and trust she had for her partner. After hearing the story, Mrs. Loy fully understood and agreed with Lytutien and Jack's actions. She did not show any judgment or surprise, but on the contrary, affirmed that helping those in need, especially those one has known, is the right thing to do. Her words, "I'm not thinking too far ahead, dear, because even when I meet strangers on the road, I still help them, let alone someone I've known," reflected her compassionate and generous heart. She also didn't forget to mention Mrs. Thuy's character and Mr. Chien's indifference, which only increased her sympathy for Mr. Phuong's situation. Throughout the conversation, Jack played the role of peacemonger and problem solver. Not only did he support Lytutien's decision, but he also proactively suggested solutions for Mr. Phuong's future, reassuring both his mother and Lytutien that everything would be handled well. He was also very considerate when he recognized Lytutien's desire to work and contribute, and although concerned about her health, he respected her decision to go harvest melons. Despite being advised to rest, Lytutien remained determined to work. She candidly shared that staying idle was unbearable for her, and more importantly, she wanted to use her labor to earn extra money to help Jack fix the farm. Her words, "The money I make might not be much, but it's my own effort, and that makes me feel better," showed her self-respect and desire for independence, as well as her willingness to share the burdens. This was a valuable sign of her maturity. The conversation ended with Jack offering to take Lytutien to the harvest site, once again showing his care and attentiveness. The warm family atmosphere, understanding, support, and mutual sharing were the highlights of this segment, demonstrating the growing bond between the characters, even though they were facing many challenges and concerns. The conversation between Jack and Mrs. Loy continued to focus on Mr. Phuong's unfortunate situation. Mrs. Loy, with her kind heart and experience, not only empathized but also proactively suggested to Jack that he should investigate the deeper reasons behind Mr. Phuong's current circumstances. Her advice, "You should try to find out what led to this, see what the whole story is," shows her caution and desire to fully understand the situation, not just relying on Lytutien's account. After hearing more details from Lytutien about Chien's reckless behavior, selling the house, and Mrs. Thuy's indifference to the family, Jack affirmed that he would look into it further. He also expressed his belief in Mr. Phuong's good nature based on Lytutien's account and his determination to help him. Once again, this demonstrated Jack's generosity and his willingness to assist those in need, transcending past relationships. Mrs. Loy fully supported her son's decision, but reminded him to be extremely careful. The concern of a mother was ever present as she reminded Jack to take care of himself both in his work and daily life, saying, "There are many bad people out there." This care was not only for Jack, but also for Lytutien. She advised her to carry light loads when harvesting and not overexert herself. As Jack and Tu Tien prepared to leave, Mrs. Loy's final remark about Mr. Fung's situation and the neglect of Mrs. Tui and Mr. Chan revealed her deep indignation and sorrow. She couldn't understand why such a kind, decent man like Mr. Fung had to suffer homelessness in his old age, while his wife and children were busy with their own pleasures. Her words, "I don't understand what she's thinking anymore," expressed disappointment and perhaps even contempt for Mrs. Tui's irresponsible lifestyle. It also implicitly affirmed that Jack and Tu Tien's decision to help Mr. Fung was entirely right and admirable. This conversation wasn't just about discussing a specific situation, but also reflected moral values, human compassion, and family bonds. Jack and Mrs. Loy shared their concerns and worked together to find ways to help others, while Tu Tien, despite her emotional burdens, continued to strive and contribute with her own hard work. They left with their own plans and tasks, leaving Mrs. Loy to reflect on life's lessons and human compassion. The brief conversation between Jack and Tu Tien before she went to harvest melons once again highlighted Jack's concern and worry, as well as Tu Tien's independence and determination. Although he knew that Tu Tien was accustomed to farm work, Jack couldn't help but feel sorrowful seeing her work so hard. "I don't want Tu Tien to have to harvest like this." He wanted to protect her and shield her from hardship, but he also understood that stopping her would make her unhappy and feel constrained. Tu Tien, with maturity and understanding, gently explained her perspective. She saw harvesting and farming as my work, just as important and meaningful as Jack's work at the construction site or in the office. She openly acknowledged her limitations in education. "I haven't been able to study, so I don't know much about other things," and emphasized how much more suited she felt to physical labor, where she could feel comfortable and be herself. "When I sit at a desk, I just feel like it gives me a headache." This explanation not only showed her self-awareness, but also served as a subtle reassurance to Jack, letting him know that she genuinely found joy and autonomy in this work. Though still hesitant, Jack ultimately respected Tu Tien's decision. He offered to take her close to the harvest site and reminded her to be careful, carry things lightly, showing his attention to every small detail. He also promised to come back to pick her up after she finished, a promise that provided reassurance and anticipation for Tu Tien. The flexible arrangement regarding communication after work. "Whenever you're back from the market, just call me when you're nearby. If you get back and I'm not there, I'll call you," showed the trust and comfort in their relationship. They no longer adhered too rigidly to formalities, but instead had mutual understanding and flexibility to suit each other's work. Their brief farewell before starting their separate tasks was simple but filled with emotion. Jack was worried and caring, while Tu Tien, strong and independent, still took the time to reassure her partner. They respected each other's work and personal space, always moving forward with love and trust. This was an important step in their relationship, showing how it was maturing and strengthening, built on mutual understanding and respect. The meeting at the construction site of Mr. Dong's house, whom Jack knew through his wife, Mrs. Vi, Jack's former teacher, began with quite a tense situation. Mr. Dong, as the homeowner, expressed his dissatisfaction and concern about the quality of the construction when he discovered that the walls were bulging and the foundation showed signs of sinking. His words, "This is the first house I've ever built. I built this house, but now it's like this, it's not up to standard," showed his disappointment in the importance of the house to him. He requested a reasonable solution to ensure the house's stability and safety. Dung, Jack's friend and the supervisor of the workers, appeared quite flustered and admitted the team's mistakes. He quickly sought Jack's help, as Jack is an experienced engineer, to address the issue. Jack's appearance brought hope for a solution. After being introduced, Jack displayed professionalism and respect by listening to the homeowner's concerns and inspecting the construction. He quickly identified technical issues such as overlapping wall joints, walls slightly separating, and most importantly, the foundation on the borrowed land not being treated properly. The private conversation between Jack and Dung clarified the mistakes in the construction process. Jack pointed out specific technical errors like uneven brick placement, thick mortar that hindered waterproofing, and most importantly, the inadequate handling of the foundation on weak soil. He bluntly suggested that the workmanship of the team was poor and they needed to take more responsibility for the community's construction. Jack's advice to Dung was specific and constructive. Hire more skilled labor, remove and redo the uneven bricks and thick mortar, with the contractor covering the materials. Rework the waterproofing along the base of the walls, and dig drainage channels around the property to ensure the structure's longevity. He also emphasized the importance of drilling columns for rebar when erecting walls to ensure a secure connection. When returning to speak with Mr. Dung, Jack apologized on behalf of Dung for the issues that had occurred and committed to fixing them. He explained that these issues could be resolved and reassured Mr. Dung. Dung also promised to have the team redo the faulty parts and take responsibility for the materials. The straightforward admission of mistakes and commitment to repair from both Jack and Dung helped ease Mr. Dung's concerns. He also expressed his hope that the team would work together efficiently to ensure the quality of the project. The meeting at Mr. Dung's house later took place in a more relaxed atmosphere. His old wooden house created a cozy setting. Jack once again apologized and reassured him, showing respect and goodwill. Mr. Dung asking for Jack's name indicated recognition and possibly initial trust in the young engineer's ability to solve problems. This segment not only showcased Jack's professional competence, but also his communication skills, crisis management, and high level of responsibility in his work. He not only helped his friend resolve difficulties, but also ensured the homeowner's interests and peace of mind. The meeting between Jack and Mr. Dung at the construction site of his house not only revolved around technical issues, but also opened up an unexpected and meaningful connection. When Mr. Dung casually mentioned knowing a girl named Lytutien in the village, who also had a boyfriend named Jack working in construction, Jack did not hesitate to admit their relationship. "My name is Jack, Lytutien's boyfriend." This straightforward introduction not only clarified the coincidence, but also created a closer, more friendly atmosphere between the two men. Mr. Dung, in his role as a responsible member of the village, shared that he had helped Lytutien after the flood by providing her with a loan to repair her farm. This showed the local government's concern for difficult situations and also helped explain the source of the funds Lytutien had to renovate her farm. On behalf of Lytutien, Jack expressed his sincere gratitude to Mr. Dung for this valuable assistance. The conversation also shed light on Lytutien's past and her efforts. Mr. Dung shared her journey from a girl facing many hardships in the mountains to achieving a more stable life at the farm, and he affirmed that meeting Jack had been a great fortune for her. The compliment, "Lytutien says you are a talented young man," from someone older like Mr. Dung was a valuable recognition for Jack. When the two were left alone, Jack boldly expressed his desire to help Lytutien silently by paying off her loan without her knowing. He explained that he planned to build a completely new farm for Lytutien with his own abilities, and that by taking the loan and giving him the money, she was also contributing. However, he still wanted to handle the financial burden himself. Mr. Dung, with his understanding of policies, explained in detail about the preferential loan for families in difficulty, with a low interest rate and long repayment terms, aimed at helping them overcome hardships. He also emphasized that, according to the policy, the person who takes the loan should repay it to ensure transparency and responsibility. Although he understood Jack's desire, Mr. Dung advised him to go along with Lytutien's wishes, so she could contribute to building their shared home, which would add more meaning and strengthen their bond. This advice was not only based on regulations, but also rooted in an understanding of psychology, with the desire to nurture the young couple's happiness. Jack fully respected Mr. Dung's opinion and promised to continue following Lytutien's wishes. He also promised to handle the technical issues of the house being built for Mr. Dung, showing his responsibility and professionalism. This meeting not only resolved work-related issues, but also established a good relationship based on mutual trust and respect. Jack had found a respected elder who not only helped Lytutien, but also offered valuable advice to him. He left with a sense of relief and a clearer plan for the future, and he promised to visit Mr. Dung with Lytutien on another occasion. The conversation between Jack and Mr. Dung continued to open up a promising new direction for Jack and Lytutien's future. After resolving the technical issues of the house, Mr. Đông, with the concern of an elder and village leader, proactively brought up a more important issue, the safety of Tutien's farm. He pointed out that the area frequently faced flash floods and suggested a neighboring piece of land owned by Mr. Nguyen Van A, located at a higher, safer position, which he intended to sell. This proposal from Mr. Đông came at just the right time and perfectly aligned with Jack's concerns and plans. Although Jack had been considering renovating and raising the foundation of the old farm, having a safer option in a higher location would certainly be the optimal solution. He immediately expressed interest and asked Mr. Đông to inquire about the possibility of transferring the land. Jack was also very practical in his planning. If he were to buy the new land, it would be their main residence, while the old farm, after renovation, could still be used for livestock and agriculture. This shows his careful planning and long-term vision. Mr. Đông, with enthusiasm, immediately called Mr. A to confirm the information. The call quickly confirmed that Mr. A was still interested in selling the land. Although the price had not yet been discussed, getting the direct contact information for the landowner was an important step forward. Jack proactively asked for the phone number to communicate directly, demonstrating his initiative and desire to expedite the process. After finishing his work at Mr. Dong's house and receiving valuable information about the new land, Jack bid farewell to his friend Doom. The brief conversation between the two friends showed mutual trust and support in their work. Jack reminded Doom to keep a close eye on the project, ensuring quality, even suggesting replacing workers with lower skill levels. Doom also expressed his gratitude for Jack's help and offered to assist him in future projects. This positive, professional, and friendly relationship was an important support for Jack in his career. As Jack was leaving, the thoughts of purchasing the new land for Tutian came back to his mind. He saw it as a good solution, providing long-term safety and peace of mind. His decision to call Mr. A immediately to arrange a viewing showed his decisiveness and unwillingness to miss the opportunity. He wanted to quickly survey the land to make a final decision. His self-reflection, "All right, I'll go see it. If it's nice, I'll buy it for Tutian to move there," clearly expressed his love and desire to provide the best for the person he loves. Jack was gradually building a solid and secure future for both of them, not only solving the immediate difficulties, but also planning for the long term. Back at the familiar market, Tutian continued her work selling melons. She quickly found a spot to sit, even if she had to share, and showed politeness and friendliness toward the other vendors around her. The image of the energetic young woman actively calling out to customers, "Sir, buy some melons. Ma'am, buy melons, please," demonstrated her growing confidence and boldness. Tutian didn't just sell the fruit, she knew how to present her product in an appealing way. "It's got a lot of pulp inside, it's really fragrant. This melon is cool, it's healthy. Every one of them is sweet, sir." She was also very honest about where the melons came from. "My house is in the forest. I just brought them down from the village," which built trust with her customers. During the sales process, Tutian showed cleverness and flexibility. She was happy to lend the scale to customers, proactively help them choose melons, and also knew how to handle small situations like lacking bags or customers haggling. Particularly when dealing with regular customers or those buying in bulk, she would offer a small discount. "If you take several, I'll sell them for 12,000 VND per kilogram." A very effective way to retain customers and create goodwill. Even when customers offered very low prices, just 35,000 VND, she maintained a courteous attitude and tried to persuade them. She was also very quick with calculating prices and handling change, even though at times she needed help from other vendors. The interactions between Tutian and the other market traders created a very familiar and close-knit atmosphere, showing that she had truly integrated into this environment. The fact that Tutian sold all her melons quickly, "I sold everything in just a moment," was proof of her talent in business and her hard work. She didn't just earn money through her labor, but also found joy and confidence in her work. Every penny she earned was a confirmation of her self-worth, helping her overcome feelings of dependence and insecurity. This scene continued to portray a Tutian full of determination, energy, and growing maturity. She was no longer the weak, passive girl. She had become proactive in seeking opportunities, working on her own, and establishing her place in life. This is a beautiful and admirable image, showing the positive and strong transformation she has gone through after all the hardships. The meeting between Jack and Mr. A, the owner of the land recommended by Mr. Dong, went smoothly and quickly, showing Jack's determination in finding a safer and more stable place for Tien. After being introduced by Mr. Dong and possibly having arranged the meeting beforehand, Jack took the initiative to meet Mr. A to view the land. Mr. A, an older man, appeared quite open and willing to sell the land. He explained that he wanted to sell because his children had moved away and no one was left to take care of the property, a common situation in rural areas. He also didn't hesitate to let Jack thoroughly inspect the land, from the boundaries, size about 1 hectare, to the legal status, full land title. Mr. A's cooperative and straightforward attitude made negotiations easier. Jack, with his experience in construction and probably some prior research, quickly identified the advantages of the land. Its proximity to Tien's current farm, the terrain seemed more level, and most importantly, it was located at a higher elevation, making it less vulnerable to flooding. He clearly expressed his desire to buy the land to either expand or relocate the farm to a safer location, solving the flooding issue that Tien faced every year. The negotiation over price went relatively quickly. Mr. A initially quoted a price over 200 million VND, which was later settled at 280 million VND, based on the cost of land preparation and the prime location. After considering it, Jack seemed to agree with the price, showing decisiveness and willingness to invest in the future. He didn't haggle much, but focused on ensuring the legal transfer process would go smoothly, asking Mr. A to handle that part. The trust and goodwill from both sides helped make the transaction smooth. Jack trusted Mr. Dong's recommendation and Mr. A's transparency, while Mr. A sensed Jack's seriousness and goodwill. Jack's promise to pay as soon as the paperwork was completed further strengthened the trust between them. This meeting was not just a land transaction, but an important step in building a solid and safe future for Jack and Tien. Finding the right piece of land adjacent to the old farm opened up many new opportunities for economic development and, most importantly, the chance to create a peaceful home away from natural disasters. Mr. A's remark when Jack left, "The land has just been cleared and someone already wants to buy it. It's perfect for a farm," was a confirmation of the land's value and potential, as well as Jack's good fortune in finding the right place at the right time. Tien's early market shift continued with her energetic and skillful approach. Even when faced with small situations like haggling customers or needing to change bags, Tien handled them quickly and politely, showing her adaptability and growth in her business. She didn't just sell products but knew how to present them attractively, creating goodwill with customers and even offering slight discounts to retain regulars. The quick sale of her goods proved her talent and hard work. A call from Mr. Thao, who works the land for Mr. A, to Jack came at just the right moment as Jack was on his way to meet Tien. Jack quickly confirmed the work and arranged to meet Mr. Thao at the new land. This shows his active push to advance his plans to buy land and build a future for himself and Tien. When Jack met up with Tien again, she happily shared her sales success. The conversation between them on their way to buy supplies from Mr. Fong showed their mutual care and sharing. Jack not only worried about Tien's safety, but also supported and encouraged her in her new work. Tien expressed her happiness at earning money on her own and her desire to learn more from the people around her at the market. Their trip together to buy essential items for Mr. Fong, rice, cooking oil, spices, showed their thoughtfulness and kindness. Even though Mr. Fong wasn't a blood relative, his difficult situation touched their hearts. Jack took the initiative to pay, not wanting Tien to worry about the money, once again reaffirming his role as the protector and caretaker. When they returned to the farm and gave the supplies to Mr. Fong, the conversation among the three showed genuine concern. Mr. Fong appreciated Jack and Tien's help. Jack also subtly asked about Mr. Fong's condition and tactfully mentioned that he could stay at the farm for the time being. He also reassured him about the farm's repairs, showing that he had a clear plan in mind. The most surprising and meaningful moment came when Jack took Tien to a higher, more spacious piece of land and revealed his plan to build a new farm, a real home for both of them. Tien's surprise and joy were unmistakable. Jack's silent preparation in keeping the land secret until the last moment was a huge gift, demonstrating his love and meticulous planning for their future. He not only addressed the immediate safety issue, flooding, but also created a more ideal living space. Moreover, the decision to let Mr. Phuong stay at the old farm after they moved to the new one was a perfect solution, both helping someone in need and easing Tien's worries and guilt. This showed Jack's deep understanding of his partner's feelings and emotions. After all the hardships, Tien finally saw a bright and peaceful future ahead. She excitedly imagined the new house, the spacious kitchen where she could cook delicious meals for Jack. The dream of a real family home, filled with love and sharing, was gradually becoming a reality. Her heartfelt thanks to Jack encompassed all her gratitude and happiness. Jack, with his love and silent sacrifice, had given her not only safety, but also a future full of promise. The scenery of the new land, the ponds, and the vast space opened a new chapter full of hope for Jack and Tien's lives. Another day has passed with Tien's continuous efforts on the path to independence and Jack's careful planning for their future. We've seen Tien becoming more confident and skilled in her business, and Jack not only excelling in his professional work, but also being incredibly thoughtful, understanding, and always bringing sweet surprises to the one he loves. His decision to buy the new land to build a home and the way he solved the issue with his ex-father-in-law in a balanced way is truly admirable, especially the moment Jack revealed his plan to build a new farm, a dream home for both of them, surely warmed all our hearts. Kênh Review would love to know your feelings and thoughts on these future plans. Are you impressed with Tien's growth and Jack's loving plan? Do you think the new house will truly bring peace and complete happiness to them? Please leave a comment and share your thoughts. Don't forget to like if you're also looking forward to a bright future for this couple. Share the video and subscribe to the channel to continue following Jack and Tien's journey. Thank you so much. Goodbye and see you again.